fake Jews, basically. To quote Wagner, philosophers, they have made self-loathing the highest achievement of man, but through art we will make man great again. And by philosophers I mean the hedge priests, the god chanters and the brisket beaters. They will destroy themselves basically with this CV23. Their words and actions will expose them. There's nothing to do to them apart from, just like in that film Young Merlin, pay them no attention, because that is your currency. That is your true wealth. Your currency is what you feed attention to. This is why the media keep putting out all these stories, because the anti-nature program that is running knows about the power of creativity. They haven't got it, but they know how to manipulate it. And that saying about you're your own worst enemy, that's when you fall for the divide and conquer instead of the individual in divide you all and concur. It's an inside job. If it isn't coming from the heart space, so effectively the mind's eye is like a lighthouse to the heart. It's all in the imagination and holding the feeling that you already have, rather than have a feeling of I'm lacking this or I'm lacking that, because this is a totally interactive field. And it's basically simple magnetics. Whatever energy you put out, the neutral field will match, and you will draw to yourself, depending on what polarity you're on, you'll draw towards yourself something that it will match your frequency. So, for example, if you're worrying about a job and, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get the job, well, that's what the neutral field will give you. You won't get the job. So you go into it with the assumption, the law of assumption. It's a cosmic law, and you hold the feeling that you've already got what you desire. But there's another law that cannot be transgressed, which is if it inflicts harm on another living being, then that crosses a boundary. Same as anything that extracts blood, that crosses a boundary. That's breaking a huge cosmic law. So effectively, what is happening is no different from if you look at the human body, it sheds dead cells. This is a macro version, the embodiment of everything in this game. So there's a lot of dead cells that are going to be shed. It's like a dog shaking fleas off its back when there's too many. It's just a natural process. You just look at the material world. Education is a filtering system, trying to identify the ones that are useful to that system in one way or another, and it plays them. And most of them fall for it because of the system programming. It's undoing that programming, unlearning, and then relearning, and being authentic, talking from experience. Because otherwise it's just a concept and it's just bullshit. It's just speculation. It has to come from the experience. So as an example of that, I cannot talk about doing a great fast because I've not done it yet. But as and when I do these things, I will give my testimony of my experience and how it felt to me. And then it's up to anybody else if they wish to try it and test it for themselves. That's all you got to do. But this world is not what people think it is. The Middle East is an entire focused deception. People are looking in completely the wrong place. The answer lies in the Gaelic language. It's the oldest language, and it's what was left of an Atlantean civilization in this computer game story. But we have the power to create, and we can create a new timeline, so we can wind it back and take it back to the 19th century and then take it on a completely different course from the way it's gone. It's just like watching a video. So another example is I caught my finger on the metal part of a grill and it burnt. As it had just happened, I haven't got to replay, I haven't got to rewind far, and then I play the event forward again without the burn. Then overnight, when the avatar is horizontal and resting and does its own thing, you've got the etheric body and the physical body are left behind when you go into the dream world, which is another reality. The next day there was no burn, there was no blister, there wasn't even a sensation of having a burn. The body had self-repaired because the instruction, the encoding had been sorted out within oneself. That's how easy it is to do. Potentially, and it is in this so-called dormant DNA, you could grow a new limb, you could grow new teeth. That's been done. Anything is possible. All is possible to he that believes, is the saying, to use a biblical quote, but it doesn't apply to just male or just female. Same as the saying, a woman is scorned. Its true meaning is the divine feminine, the nurturing, the creative side within each of us. It's nothing to do with the physical world, but the outplay is always in the physical world. Humanity as a whole is in for a... They're heading south. And yeah, Julia, it was only a matter of time before she exposed herself. It's just watching and observing. So you get this in the materialist playouts. Look at the what appear to be neutral countries like Sweden, Switzerland, Monaco. Notice how all the wealthy and the wealth is there. That's in the materialist thing. So you just stay neutral to anything, good or bad, and don't put a judgment on it as to whether it's good or bad. Let the negative thing come and let it pass like a cloud. Then it opens up, depending on whether you react or respond, as to which way you navigate your vessel. If you're not captain of the ship, if you're not in control of your emotions and you're allowing your emotions to be rocked by anyone else outside, anything that's external of you, then they're influencing, and you have mutiny on the bounty, mutiny in the vessel. It's that simple to change this, but most are in disbelief about it because they haven't tried it, so they haven't experienced it. But once you experience it, you just can see that it works. Nature will give you the answers. The trees will talk to you. I sat there and I looked at these seed pods on this tree, and it's like, well, I wonder how this works. And basically the seed pods will dry out and build up a pressure inside, and the seed will be projected through the air quite a distance. It's basically where it's been turned in its inverted form by the machine world into the cannon or the gun. But the projectile that is firing is the opposite of bringing new life. You see the way nature does one thing and the material world flips the polarity, uses nature as a basis. Hence you've got synthetic things with the pharmaceutical industry. You've got everything is an offshoot of oil because it is the blood. And this thing with the blood, this is why they always want to take it. Because they're looking for that spark of creativity. They never find it. It's a futile thing, but it's part of the anti-nature program. But YouTube, don't worry about them. Just do your own thing. But just try and stay within the guidelines. To play a game, you've got to play by the rules. It's the same as in Matrix world. I don't agree with wearing seatbelts, but if there's a law enforcement about, then at least make it look like you've got a seatbelt on, because otherwise you're giving money to the system with a fine. Giving money to the system with a fine.
Oh no, it's done it again. There we go. Sorry about that. We're at the end.
To the system with a fine. But it's down to personal choice, but you just got to sort of look both ways all the time, weigh things up. It's quite easy. Wow, that's 10 minutes. I'm going to cut off there.
Oh, that's me.
Hello, James. Sorry I've not been back to you.
You don't need to hear me. But anyway, thank you very much, James. Always wise words from James, isn't it, Mickey?
Very wise, man.
Yes, anyway, with this one, that was a message to me, but I thought I'd tape it for everyone. I know James won't mind. Anyway, thank you.